Okay, folks, welcome back to the Grab Your Help Coin channel. Please take a seat and let's get right to the point because I have some essential things to explain today. Right now, I'm actually out on my morning run. Yes, I am aware of it. Somehow, Bice has become my unintentional thinking headquarters, so I constantly wind up stopping there. You are forced to pause and truly ponder by the strange combination of caffeine, chilly air, and an empty parking lot at dawn. And I'm in that same mode right now. Thoughtful, brutally truthful, and in that mentality in which you ask yourself, what the hell is going on in this market? And zoom out. What earth is going on with XRP? And why does the whole cryptocurrency world seem to be in a coma? Because we should not deceive one another. This market has been a pain since July. After getting everyone excited with a 75% pump, there was nothing for weeks at a time. And it's precisely that type of price action that makes retail go bonkers. It causes them to doubt everything it creates. They question why they made the purchase in the first place. The unfortunate thing is that most individuals aren't even aware of that. This setting is not a coincidence. This is intentional. It's engineered. Most individuals are unable to understand the magnitude of this shakeout. And I want to make one thing very clear before we go any further. I'm not afraid. I'm not perplexed. I'm not frightened. I'm actually more confined than I have been in months. Furthermore, I do not say that as some phony inspirational quote. I say this because the image becomes much clearer than the price chart when you zoom out and see what's going on underneath the surface. Being sideways does not indicate death. Accumulation is indicated by sideways movement. And you already know what stage of the cycle we're in if you know anything about market psychology, market structure, and cycle theory. The goal of the entire setting is to drive out impatient holders, emotional investors, and anyone else who isn't prepared for the long haul. And good, to be honest. People that seek fast pleasure are not rewarded in this market, so they shouldn't be here. Those who realize that the largest changes always occur when others least expect them are rewarded. Boredom, frustration, and disbelief. Not amid hype. It's not a negative indicator that the majority of retail has already left the game. It serves as proof of our current cycle position. Let's discuss manipulation. Because I am aware that when they hear that word, some people roll their eyes. However, you would never again refer to manipulation as a conspiracy theory if you truly comprehend order book structure, liquidity mechanics, and the mechanisms underlying institutional accumulation. It would be Tuesday. When the market declines, whales are not emotionally responding. They are the cause of them. Liquidity sweeps don't surprise market makers. They're planning them. During volatility, exchanges aren't unintentionally experiencing disruptions. They're making money off of it. Additionally, retail. Retail consistently falls for the bait. Now that I'm not falling for it, things are different. I also don't want you to fall for it if you're watching this channel because, yes, people will go crazy if we go back to the 70-cent range. But I'll tell you the truth. There's an opportunity there. The buildup grows there. Whereas sentimental investors are fleeing, astute investors are making additions. Additionally, if Bitcoin falls below 90K, yes, XRP will experience any scary occurrence. That's the nature of correlation. However, that has no effect whatsoever on the long-term trend. It simply sounds. This is the unsettling reality. In this market, you have no influence over the external chaos. Whales will continue to dump. It is impossible to prevent liquidity grabs. Exchanges will continue to play games. Furthermore, you cannot prohibit the financial media from disseminating hateful misinformation. Headlines whenever the market is active. Only your response is within your power. And that one factor is the reason why most individuals lose. They were outperformed by their emotions, not by the market. Since most investors have a glaringly incorrect understanding of where we are in this cycle, let's take a closer look. They believe that the future is determined by this present. It doesn't. This instance serves as a psychological pressure test, a filter, and a sorting mechanism. It distinguishes those who genuinely have the courage to endure discomfort from those who merely enjoy the thought of being early. You're already in the minority if you're still holding XRP at this time. That isn't overstating things. It is statistically accurate. Retail has vanished. The remaining holders are the obstinate, laser-focused, and seasoned ones who know that when the fundamentals line up, markets reward patience. Speaking of foundations, let's discuss what's truly taking place in the background. Due to the major actors are constructing the framework of a new financial system, while the typical retail investor sits there fixated on daily candles. While the public is preoccupied with price boredom, real rails, real integrations, real use cases, custody networks, settlement architecture, and liquidity pipelines are all subtly taking shape. Ripple is not motionless. They are assimilating into the system that banks will eventually depend on. Where liquidity must flow, they are securing corridors, establishing alliances, and integrating technology. And due to its pricing, some believe this asset is no longer viable, is lateral. Hurry up. The dull section of the film is what's happening at the moment, the portion during which casual viewers nod off. This is the section that experienced investors focus on the most because it lays the groundwork. The patient benefits in this situation. Depending on how well you see the wider picture, this is where conviction is either reinforced or undermined. The terrible reality is as follows. The majority of holders don't comprehend it. They don't realize how brutally it's suppressed. When the trigger occurs, the asset can reprick. Since they don't research market behavior, they anticipate gradual, steady growth. However, repricing in cryptocurrency occurs in vertical motions rather than gradual stair increments. Storylines change quickly. Immediately, liquidity rotates. Instantly, capital flows. Additionally, you do not receive a calendar invite when that switch turns. Let me explain something that most influencers avoid since they don't want to come across as overly daring. The next big increase for XRP won't be gradual. It won't be courteous. You won't be able to enter it gradually. It will be swift, violent, disorderly, and harsh on those who hesitate. Because the underlying truth is that hype isn't the foundation of institutional frameworks. Their foundation is necessity, and what matters to important institutions. Liquidity, efficiency, compliance, speed, stability, dependability, and frictionless settlement. The checklist is that. One of the few assets that truly meets those requirements is XRP. You are able to. Price is a topic of constant debate. Timelines are a topic of endless discussion. However, infrastructure cannot be disregarded. Infrastructure is fate, and the infrastructure that is currently being constructed all over the world is in line with the precise issue that XRP was created to address. It is not necessary for you to believe me. Examine the macro environment. The payment rails on Prosper are old. Banks are losing billions in settlement inefficiencies. Worldwide, the corridors of liquidity are disintegrating. The regulatory landscape is changing. Instant settlement is now required. It is no longer a choice. It's necessary. And you're here for that reason. You're early if you're in this market now, regardless of your age. 20, 40, 60, or 70. The price chart doesn't matter to me. Price is trailing. Infrastructure is leading. And everything changes when those two eventually align. Most individuals will discover this only after the migration has taken place, and they'll live their entire lives justifying why they simply lacked the courage to take action sooner. However, the ability to comprehend the system rather than reacting to it emotionally is precisely what sets winners apart from spectators. Therefore, consider whether you are here to profit or to become anxious whenever the market declines, because you're gambling, not investing if you're still allowing candles to dictate your feelings. Additionally, gamblers are eliminated. Investors are compensated. Because they don't like hearing this, most individuals mentally check out at this point, which is where things get awkward. The purpose of the market is